Hello, I'm Bill O'Donnell, and welcome to another program on spirituality. I'm indeed thrilled to have my guests here today from Kitchen Angels in Santa Fe, a group that's dedicated to making sure that our neighbors who are less fortunate than us will not starve and that food will be brought to them in their condition. So, to that end, I'm happy to have Tony, Joanna, and my old girlfriend Kevin here after all these years. And I have to say right at the bat, for those longtime viewers of Spirituality TV, watch closely. You'll see his name in the credits. He's been here trying to make, Sal's purse look like something better with my hair. So thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Anyhow, but it just so happens Tony is a volunteer driver, and that's why he's here to share with us something that's going on in our community that is an extraordinary thing and a positive thing for all of us. And then to that, I want to turn to Tony to tell us a little bit about as the Chief Executive Officer of Kitchen Angels. First of all, welcome, Tony, Joanna, and Kevin. It's great to have you guys here.
Well, thank you,
Bill.
It's great to be here today.
All right. So, and you have our new backdrop there. You can read it. Kitchen Angels, dedicated to providing free, nutritious meals to our neighbors who are homebound, facing life-challenging conditions found in 92. So, welcome.
Thank you very much. We've been doing Kitchen Angels meal delivery service for 15 years. June will be our 16th anniversary. And I've been executive director of Kitchen Angels for 15 of those years. It's the best job in the world. I look forward to waking up and getting to work each day.
That's great.
Should I tell you just a little bit about Kitchen Angels
Please
before
do.
we begin with and introduce Kevin and Joanna and what they do with Kitchen Angels? We prepare meals every day in our kitchen. We serve about 94 clients a day. And we do all of our cooking from scratch each day of the week, so that our clients get a soup or salad, an entree with vegetables. They get a sweetened dessert or fruit, or you can have both if you need additional calories in your diet. Today, with the prevalence of diabetes, we only serve bread twice a week. We used to do it every day, but our nutritionists advised us that people needed to cut down a little bit on carbohydrates. So now we do that. We also make 3 kinds of meals. We have people who can have a regular meal, which is a heart-healthy, low in saturated trans fats, just your basic great diet that would be suitable for people with diabetes or recovering from anything. And then we have the folks who need a little additional help with their digestion, so we have the gastrointestinal diet, which is, the chilies eliminated, the strong acidic foods. They accommodate digestion for people who are on dialysis or going through particular things that they need a little more bland food. So we do our deliveries between 4:30 and 6:30, and that's where Joanna and Kevin come in, because they take a route of 6 to 8 people one time a week, and they make sure that the correct food gets to the correct client. And we're all done by 6:30 in the afternoon. And so our program is timed because of the Environment Department regulations for keeping prepared food at temperatures. There's a definite limit on that. But we do that Monday through Friday. For the weekend, either on Thursday or Friday, depending upon your diet. You got frozen entrees so that you have something to warm for the weekend, and so that you don't have to worry about the food for until Monday as well.
Tell me, Tony, how did this get started? What was the genesis of Kitchen Angels?
Well, we always like to say we were divinely inspired. I think the program before us was Course in Miracles, and the inspiration came from Marianne Williamson. She founded an organization called Project Angel Food in Los Angeles. One of our founders had moved to Santa Fe from Los Angeles, and he had worked actively in Project Angel Food. And they saw that there was a need in Santa Fe as well. Kitchen Angels was a little different than other food organizations that sprung up across America in the mid-'80s, early to mid-'80s, in that most of them did exclusively HIV/AIDS meals. And our founders, there were 3, Tony D'Agostino, Lee Sargent, and Anna Huzarek. They saw that the need in Santa Fe was for anybody who was homebound with cancer, multiple sclerosis. I just mentioned renal dialysis. So they included everyone in the Kitchen Angels meal service since 1992. And I'm happy to report that with the improvements in HIV/AIDS treatments, that across the nation now, the food service agencies are opening their doors to other conditions as well now, so that a broader spectrum of the population can have regular, hot, nutritious meals.
Mm-hmm. How do your prospective customers or clients contact you or find out if they qualify for this particular service?
We keep it very easy. Anybody can call into Kitchen Angels, and that number that I'll repeat later is 471-7780.
And area code 505.
Area code 505.
Okay.
We are in Santa Fe, and the majority of our food service is in Santa Fe. Mm-hmm. Anybody can call in, go through a brief survey with basically whoever answers the phone, but there are two people in particular that are trained to do that. And we find out if someone is homebound, how they're currently getting their food, if they're living alone, what kind of support system that they have, and if they're able, to go out and do their shopping, come back and do their cooking, then do all the cleanup. Anybody who does that, I do it most every night I do that. It's an enormous job. So if you have a chronic or terminal illness, it's insurmountable at times. So and so that is the viewpoint of Kitchen Angels, that we want to provide nutrition so that people don't have to worry about shopping and cooking and cleaning, and they can concentrate on getting well in the best of cases, and just getting through the day in other cases. After the phone survey, that's about 10 minutes. Where do you live? How do you get to your house? We can pretty much determine whether or not they meet our criteria, and if so, we schedule a home visit with them within 7 days, and our intake volunteer, Diane Forsdell, goes out and meets with the client, and just checks everything out to make sure that they have numbers on their address so our drivers can find, as each of Kevin and Joanna will tell you, it's really important in the old goat trail system in Santa Fe to know exactly where you're going so that the food gets there in the proper time frame. And at that point, we give the person medical provider referral form, and their doctor verifies that they are homebound, what their illness is, and how long they may need our services.
Okay. How are the services paid for?
Paid for mostly through contributions from individuals in our community. That's about 70% of our funding. We have foundation support. Twice a year we do fundraising events that we invite the public to come to and support us in those ways. We have businesses in town that provide funding for us. The city of Santa Fe is responsible for our land lease. We don't pay in money, but we pay in services to people in Santa Fe. So the majority comes from individuals like you and I who are interested in helping out our neighbor. And
so people can get a charitable deduction if they make a donation?
We're a 501c3 designated charity, so your donations are deductible to the extent allowable by law.
Okay. And I understand, and these are the two examples of that there's another way of giving with regard to Angels.
Oh, there is. So I should introduce Joanna Apiotis. Joanna has been a volunteer with Kitchen Angels for 16 years come our birthday in June.
Right.
And she's been a delivery volunteer and also brings her grandson on most of those occasions. And Kevin Dalton. Kevin, you're going to have to tell me how long you've volunteered.
It's 2 years.
Is it 2 years this year?
A little over 2 years.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I know he's not available late on Fridays for haircuts, but delivering food, which is great.
Actually, Kevin does it twice. I don't want to take.
Actually, I'm a driver coordinator on Monday. I fill in, and I give the food.
On your day off?
On my day off. Yeah. And I give the food to the drivers.
Oh, great.
And then Fridays I deliver.
Yeah. So then tell us a little about it. You've been with us 16 years. What's been your experience with it, and why do you do it?
Well, I think the reason I do it is because I think everybody should give back to the community. My daughter started it when she needed to do community service to make her confirmation, and I went with her, and I just continued after that. But I think everybody needs to give back, and this is just the small way that I give back to my community.
How about you, Kevin? What drew you to Kitchen Angels?
I'm the same way. I'm giving back. I'm very, very fortunate for everything that I have in my life right now, and I just love all the volunteers. We have a lot of fun. Especially my angels. I really care about my angels.
And the angels, people you deliver to?
Yeah, yeah. And
so, Bill, if I could just interrupt
yeah, go ahead.
Kevin there. We have 3 full-time staff members and 1 part-time staff member, and that's the extent of the paid positions at Kitchen Angels. All of the rest of the work, the cooking, the driving, the driver coordinating, the planning for events, everything else that happens is done by 227 volunteers each week. And that sounds like a lot of people, and it is, but the commitment is not overwhelming. It's a 2-hour commitment once a week. Now, you know, Kevin does more than that, and actually Joanne does too, because she kind of doubles as the driver coordinator and the driver on most days. So maybe now would be a good time for us to watch our video clip that was made.
Yeah, this is it. We have just a couple minutes on a clip that'll give you an insider's view on what actually happens behind the scenes at Kitchen Angels. So, Doreen, if you can, we'll
The day at Kitchen Angels starts about 10 a.m. We have a kitchen crew that comes in from 10 to noon, and they do preparation such as making salads, chopping vegetables, making a dessert. We do all of our cooking from scratch every day of the week. I think that the kitchen volunteers are definite kitchen enthusiasts. They're the foodies that you always talk about. They're very enthusiastic. They bring their personal touch to each menu that we plan. When you are not feeling well, oftentimes you don't want to eat anything. But if it looks appealing enough, we've heard this comment over and over. Our clients tell us, you know, it looks so good, I can't wait each day till you come. After a shift of cooking, you have a product to show for your time. After you deliver to our clients, you get to see the joy, the gratitude on an individual's face. You get to know that you make a difference in somebody's life. Obviously, we're providing vital nutrition for people to survive, to make it through another day, to get well, to go back into the community, to stay out of institutional living. And on the other hand, we're providing an opportunity for our volunteers to give of their talents and their love to our community.
That was great. Was that a fairly accurate reference to what goes on behind the scenes?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's that smile, that that moment of satisfaction, you know, knowing that somebody cares, and seeing it reflected in our clients' eyes. I mean, I know that's what motivates me.
Well, that's truly spirituality in action. I mean, that's taking it and living your faith. I've been very impressed with it. What are some of the comments in the community? And I imagine over the years you've probably served a lot of different people, haven't you?
We have about over 2,500 different individuals. We're up to about 450,000 meals. You know, we do about 5,000 each month. And last year we, for the first time, did 55,000 in the year. So I know that's a lot of numbers, but you know, it's an impressive numbers. And when you consider that it's individuals doing that, I mean, we couldn't possibly run Kitchen Angels without the efforts and the talents and the love and the inspiration of our volunteers. So I certainly encourage anybody who wants to make a difference in Santa Fe to volunteer, and in particular at Kitchen Angels, because it's an easy thing to do, but it's giving of yourself in a way that truly makes a difference.
And if you can't volunteer yourself, then consider them as a form of donation for your charitable donation to help a worthwhile cause. And we'll talk more about that later. You mentioned earlier that it was modeled in something that started in Los Angeles. Are there any organizations, national organizations that you're a part of that provide this service in different parts of the country?
We have an umbrella organization, acronym is ANSA, A-N-S-A, and it stands for Association of Nutrition Service Agencies. And if you just do a Google search for ANSA, you will come up with a map. They're an umbrella organization. So you just click on a state, and if there are organizations in your state or in your city, they'll be listed there so that you can get an idea of where the nearest service is.
Joanna, while you're here, I'm curious. over the years, you've probably delivered to people that you've really gotten to know. What's that like to have that interaction with someone who's in need and sees this angel coming in the door with dinner?
Well, it's a really good feeling to know that somebody really needs you there to so they can eat. I've had a lot of clients that really look forward to seeing me and seeing my grandson. I take my grandson with me, and they get really excited to see him, and he's excited to see them. And I think it's just a great opportunity to meet other people, and I've known them for a long time. Some clients I've known for 10 years probably.
And you go on a specific day?
Thursday afternoons.
Okay, so they know it's you coming that day.
They know it's me, hopefully.
Maybe you could tell them about Sue and your grandson. You
Oh,
were telling me earlier.
I have one client named Sue who my grandson has fallen in love with, and I think she's fallen in love with him. And if I don't take him, she'll say, well, where's Gage? And I'll say, well, he's at school or whatever. But when I do take him, I can't get out of the car. He has to take the meal up himself, and he'll hand her the meal, and then he'll lean against the door frame, cross his legs, and he'll just stand there, and talk to her for 5-10 minutes. And she'll ask him questions about school, and he'll ask her how she's feeling and if she needs anything. And it's nice to see my grandson becoming involved also.
So it's almost like you become part of the extended family
Right,
for these people.
right.
Yeah. Great. How about you, Kevin? What do you remember or experience?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear. Let's see. I guess I have to talk about my last run, and she lives out by my house. I live in Tesuque. And I call her my Jewish Yenta. She's really something else. She's quite funny. Helen broke both her legs this winter. And she's in her mid to late 60s, I would say, but a wonderful, wonderful sense of humor. Wonderful sense of humor. So I kind of like helping her out. She's really kind of special. And then I have my Lynette and her little miniature collie, Jenny, where Lynette always tells me that Jenny can tell when I pull up in her driveway because she starts barking. She knows, Kevin's here, that type of thing. I really don't have a favorite because they're all my favorites.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Tony, this is an amazing thing. I mean, I wonder what people did before. I mean, how they survive. I imagine some people literally could starve to death if they didn't have someone like you or this organization to come and bring them enough food to survive.
Well, it's true. Kitchen Angels promotes independent living. For as long as possible, we want to keep people in the comfort and familiarity of their own homes. What did they do before? They went into institutions. They became homeless. They did any of the things that people do when you don't have a support system or income. I mean, our clients have been terminally or chronically ill for a long time. They're not working. They're at home. And they can't work. They will probably, in the most part, never be employed again. So, you know, what do? We promote the independence. You know, our clients tell us that they are better able to afford their medications. They're better able to afford their rents. Yeah, that their quality of life has improved because of Kitchen Angels. Just last Friday, one of our longtime clients calls it, I'm going to give you the quote for the year that you may use freely. Feel free to use this. And she said, "You keep us alive." And I think that's the bottom line for Kitchen Angels. In most cases, we keep people alive so they can do the things that they need to do to support their wellness as much as possible.
Tell us about the source of the food. Where does the food come from and how is it prepared and all that?
Well, our food, about 30% of our food comes from the Food Depot, which is the food bank for northern New Mexico. Some of the remainder is donated by businesses or individuals, but the majority of it is purchased through the wholesale purveyors that are available to any food service. I mean, we run as a commercial kitchen because that's what we are. And we follow all the standards that any other restaurant would follow, except we do all delivery. We don't have any in-house meal service. So that's why it's important for the individuals who participate in 70% of our giving, because we require 84% of every dollar that's donated to Kitchen Angels is for client services. So we keep our overhead low, we keep our fundraising costs low, so that we can keep on going, and the majority of the benefit goes to the people for whom it was intended.
Now, so then you're also a customer of other suppliers of food within Santa Fe or northern New Mexico. Is that right?
Sure, absolutely.
And are they, do they sell it to you at wholesale, or do they have an opportunity to contribute as well? Can they contribute part of their, or do they contribute part of their?
Wholesale
Yeah.
is the general practice, but we have terrific programs that spring up now and again. One that we're just starting is with Talus Wind Ranch, was an organic local grower of turkey and lamb, both of which we use, and he doubles our order. Whatever we buy from him, he gives us 50% more. So things like that stretch our dollar, make the most of what we can, and so that's a way for people to participate that makes it easy for anybody to participate. You just have to figure out what you have, what Kitchen Angels can use, and how to put those two things together. Because we have angels all over Santa Fe and all over the state that help us out in that way.
What else would people want to know about for instance, what state agencies will look over your shoulder to make sure your facilities are clean and all that sort of thing?
Oh, the Environment Department, the inspectors that come in. We have a great relationship with our inspector. He's been an educator as well as a friend and what do you call those things with the whip, that driving force over the 15 years, and we've learned a lot through him, and we pass that on to our volunteers so that everything is on the up and up, and we're doing things correctly, so that the food is the best that it can be. Our clients have impaired immune systems already, so we want to make sure that they get healthy, nutritious food.
Okay. How about you guys who deliver? I mean, you get to know your clients pretty well. Have there been circumstances where you found things maybe out of order or something, and is there a procedure that you could alert someone if you find them incapacitated or a problem happens? Has that ever come up?
In my case, everything is just so on the straight and narrow. Everything is just laid out for you, so you really can't screw things up.
No, but if you found...
In the beginning I did.
Oh, did you?
I forgot to give somebody a soup, I think, and then a dessert.
Oh,
I gave the wrong dessert
it.
to somebody, yeah. But no, it's pretty...
Yeah.
It's pretty, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, if you get to know these people so well, and you really, I mean, there may not be other people really looking in on them, but the Kitchen Angels are coming every day or 5 days a week.
Right. A couple of times on our list, we have emergency contacts, and a couple of times I've had to call the emergency contacts because you could tell that she hadn't taken her medication and she was a little delirious or just, wasn't feeling well, couldn't get up. So a couple of times we have to call. I think I've called 911 once. And other times I'll call Kitchen Angels and tell them, I think there's a problem over here, and we'll call the emergency contact.
So that's another kind of side service that's actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's looking in on them. You're going to see them every day, or somebody from Kitchen Angels is going to see them every day.
exactly.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I read recently that there are 3 things necessary to living better longer. One is consistent nutrition. The second one was having someone check on you every day. And the last one was being interested in something. So I think Kitchen Angels covers the first 2 really well. We're there consistently. We're checking on people every weekday. And so Joanna's right. You just have to be perceptive, a little perceptive, and then make sure you call someone if things aren't exactly right.
If somebody wanted to volunteer, and I hope you will watch the credits because that information will be in there, but Kitchen Angels in the phone book in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and there is a website to see. Tell us about the training that the volunteers get, and how do they get prepared to do this sort of thing, this real angel for these people. become an angel?
Delivery volunteers are trained one-on-one. Joy Martindale is our volunteer coordinator, and as we introduce new drivers to the program, she's responsible for going through all of our procedures, going through the manual, making sure everybody has read the manual, and then taking them through step by step the delivery process. Everybody who cooks for us goes through an hour-and-a-half orientation. So if people want to learn how to cook in our kitchen and learn our procedures, you just call, get on a waiting list, and every other week we have the orientation that introduces you to our kitchen, to our equipment, to safety procedures, to temperatures, all of those things that you might not have thought about.
So conceivably, it could be a training ground if somebody thought, well, I might like to be a chef or work in kitchen prep or something. They could actually volunteer with you guys and learn how to do that.
Well, I would say that they would figure out how, if they wanted to do it or not on a larger scale. To do it commercially, probably you'd want to go to here at the community college and go through the culinary program. It's a little more intensive than our training, of course.
But it would be a good start, though.
It's an excellent start, absolutely. We do catering for our own, the events that we produce. So if you want to get an idea of the behind-the-scenes kind of working of a food service agency, absolutely, Kitchen Angels is the place to come.
Okay, besides cooking and delivery, what else are the jobs that have to be done on a regular basis at Kitchen Angel that people can volunteer for? Give us an example of the types of jobs.
Our driver coordinators, those are the people who come in just to get ready for our drivers, and they're the people responsible for making sure the correct meal gets to the correct person, all in the time frame that we're allocated. We have people who work on committees. We have mailing committees who help us get out our newsletters and our invitations. And if you have a special talent, call me. We'll talk about it and see how it can fit into the Kitchen Angels program.
Great. So listen, we've run out of time, unfortunately. I want to thank you guys for coming in. I want to encourage you at home. Here's a great opportunity to participate in your community and really do something that means a lot to people and it'll mean something to you. So I would consider you, as a potential volunteer out there, contact Kitchen Angels, see what you can do for them. If you're physically unable to give them some time, then seriously consider donating some money that you'll get a wonderful write-off at the end of the year, but you'll also have that better feeling that you've done something really tangible for somebody else. So thanks again, Tony, Joanna, Kevin. It's great to have you guys here, and thanks for educating our community out there on what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great. So on behalf of everybody here at Spirituality, our director, Doreen, our camera people, Wendy and Russ, and George, and everybody behind the scenes, we want to thank you for viewing, and stay tuned next week at this time for another program on spirituality.
Mm-hmm.